This video was originally one of a 5-part free course centered around habits you can develop to make you a better photographer no matter what level you're working at. All these habits are non-technical in nature. You don't need any expensive equipment, nor do you need to be a technical genius. In fact, they're just as valuable for somebody who's been shooting photographs for a long time as they are to someone just starting out. Now, this video should give you pretty much all you need, but if you want more depth, there's a dedicated post over on my blog, photosmudger.com, which will have a transcript along with any graphics or imagery that might accompany the video. This final video is all about structure and planning. I believe you can massively increase your chances of getting good results by actually setting yourself limits and constraining your creativity. Give yourself structures, give yourself projects to work on, give yourself themes to work on. And when you've got those themes, do a little bit of planning. It might sound really strict, really boring. Oh, but I just want to enjoy my photography. I just want to do whatever I like. Fine. But wandering around aimlessly and doing things without any particular purpose in mind, no planning, really reduces your chances of getting decent results. Professionals don't go out on shoots without doing planning. They don't just turn up and hope that somehow the right equipment's there, that they're in the right place, at the right time with the right people. They tend to work these things out. That's why professionals tend to get guaranteed professional results time after time after time. Don't be afraid of structure either. It's very easy to think that structure is going to constrain you and reduce your creativity, stop you having ideas. The truth is, once you've established a framework, then you can play around within it. The images you see here, which were taken for a promotional campaign for an obstacle course run, required an awful lot of planning. They required obviously being at the right venue and getting access to that venue. They required about 3 hours of location scouting in the morning before the shoot. They required lots of personnel. They required all those personnel to have with them these charming school uniforms. Obviously I required then equipment to be got out on location, and the location itself was muddy, wet and quite difficult to work in from time to time. Having done all that and planned for all that and taken care of it all, I can then forget about it all. I can then concentrate on the performances in front of the camera. I can allow things to happen in front of me and react to them. I can improvise. Once the framework and the structure is created and I've got this foundation to build upon, I know that everything I need is where I want it, then I can start to go, oh wow, no, do that again, that was brilliant, no, you pull his hair, you run around, you jump off that thing. It gives you the freedom to improvise and the freedom to be creative. Whereas if I'd not done any planning, probably wouldn't get any results at all, or the results I would get would be very, very basic, very, very simple record shots, which as we know, we don't do. So give yourself a structure. Pick a theme. Draw a line out on a map and follow that line. Use just one camera and one lens, or just one light. Photograph a specific group of people. Okay, give yourself a constraint to what you're going to be creative about and what you're going to photograph. And then, and this really should be obvious, but I stress it because very few amateurs bother, actually do some planning. Okay, think through the shoot ahead of time and your results will improve enormously. There you go. After more than 20 years as a professional photographer, those are the 5 things that I think will make the biggest difference to your photography, no matter your current skill level. Obviously, you can find links to the other 4 videos in this series below. They're also as part of a playlist, and there are dedicated blog posts that match it. It's almost impossible to prioritise these 5. I have sort of put them in order. I do think the most important one is the first one regarding spending time thinking about what it is you want to photograph. But all the others are very, very valuable indeed. I couldn't work without my logbook, for example, and I do believe we don't exist in a vacuum. I adore the work of other photographers and other image makers, full stop. I've also fell victim many, many times to having a massively overcomplicated set and making my life more complicated than it needs to be and getting far too obsessed with equipment. And I've certainly suffered many times from going out on a shoot with no real structure or plan and then coming home and being disappointed by the results. By comparison, I've been much more successful when I've invested time in thinking through the concepts, gathering my influences and working out what it is I love about them, using the creative process and the feedback mechanism of my logbook, choosing just the right equipment for the job, and then creating a structure and a plan that brings it all together. Doing all that just guarantees you far, far more success in terms of creating imagery that you love and hopefully other people will too.